Shams says Joel Embiid tore his meniscus, but then deleted his own tweet and said, wait, it's not definitely a tear. They're trying to decide what to do. This whole thing is a chaotic mess, like the last 3 weeks of Embiid's life. Philly is trying to decide to let him play through it or shut him down. All we know is he pushed himself to play and could ruin his best season ever. Now, the media blames the new 65-game rule for this, but the real reason he got injured is much worse than people think. When Embiid plays, he is the most dominant guy in the NBA, averaging 36 points, 11 boards, 6 dimes with 2 blocks. But quietly, a narrative began to surface. People said he ducks big games to preserve his MVP status. Early this year, Embiid sat out at the Timberwolves, Pelicans, Celtics, and Heat. And people noticed. He has sat out 4 of the Sixers' hardest games this year, all on the road, proving he ducks many hard road games. And one of the worst things you can do is call an athlete soft. That's exactly what that narrative is doing. So Embiid acknowledged he hears the trolls. I saw them calling me soft, but I can't control if I get sick or if my knee is gonna swell up, and as long as I'm ready to be dominant in the playoffs, that's all I care about. But that was a lie, because 2 days before his big matchup in Denver with Jokic, Embiid clearly twisted his knee against the Pacers. A man with his injury history has no business playing 2 days later, but miraculously, he was not on the injury report. Both Embiid and his coach told the media he is good to go against Jokic. We will finally see Embiid Jokic in Denver squashing the duck narrative. And then he was ruled out right before tip-off. Oh my goodness. People were pissed. This was 4 straight years of Embiid skipping Jokic in Denver. Somehow this guy had a missing persons flyer ready to go because he knew Embiid would miss. The fans chanted at him during the game. And Embiid acknowledged he could hear the crowd. A fan even yelled Embiid's a coward during the national anthem and was cheered? After the game, Denver coach Michael Malone brought up an investigation. I don't know how you go from being active and available to out. There is going to be an investigation. I am sure that'll happen. The official story was Embiid wanted to play, but Philly's medical staff pulled him right after warm-ups. But the rumors said he's just scared. He just found out Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris weren't playing, and so he figured, you know what? I'm gonna sit this one out.
Ooh, plus, okay? And you know what that means? That means scared. He's been scared for the last 4 years.
Quack, 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 quack.
Embiid is soft. That's what everyone was saying. Entire posts on Reddit were created to prove Embiid has ducked big games for years. This isn't injuries. Look at these numbers. So with the entire NBA world challenging his reputation, Embiid chose to return just 3 days later at Golden State. And it was pretty clear, dude should not be out there. Couldn't even jump off that knee for a rebound. But then the worst case scenario happened. Late in the game, Jonathan Kuminga slammed on his knee fighting for a loose ball. Embiid was in serious pain despite walking off on his own power. So Embiid then goes from villain to, oh my God, I feel so bad. How dare those people make fun of him for ducking games? The man was hurt. Yeah, where were all those people when Perk was calling him scared? But instead of blaming themselves, the media blames the 65-game rule. To crack down on stars missing games, they said you have to play 65 games to be eligible for all major awards, except Rookie of the Year. Joel Embiid obviously wants that second MVP and pushed himself to play. Now, I think there is some truth to that. Embiid has said he doesn't care about MVP anymore, but that is false. Dude has been playing with fire this year just to chase stats for MVP. He was trying to break the record for consecutive 30 and 10 games and would even risk injury just to pad stats. One example. Why is Joel Embiid in this game down 30 with 5 minutes to go? Oh, guess what? He got 30 and 10 exactly. What a coincidence. And Embiid even said this last year. One thing I'll say is if people tell you they don't care about winning MVP, they're lying. So he's lying. Dude wanted MVP and was pushing himself to play. So why did the NBA make up this dumb rule? Well, they want us to think it's all about load management, but they will never admit the real reason for the 65 game rule. It goes back to a Spurs Heat game in 2012, two of the best teams on national TV, but Greg Popovich didn't even bring his stars to the game. He played the bench squad while Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili were kicking it at home. Pop said, sorry, they're old and they need their rest. Commissioner David Stern said, this is a disservice to the league and the fans, and handed down a top 10 biggest fine ever. That is how Stern rolled. San Antonio had to pay $250,000 for resting their stars. But what happened a year and a half later? Adam Silver took over as commissioner, known as the Players Commish. He started to look the other way on load management. Pretty soon, resting stars became the culture of the NBA. Fans everywhere complained about it. I bought my kid one ticket to go see his hero, and the dude rested. Or, you're ruining the big national TV games. It was a huge controversy for years, but Silver did nothing but just talk about it, no action. Then, in 2021, the NBA officially partnered with two gambling sponsors, DraftKings and FanDuel. And the one thing gamblers hate is when a star sits out with no warning. It screws up millions in bets. So the NBA started to get pressure from the gambling community. Oh, and now that money is on the line, you guys have to play. The NBA even published a study that said, oh, wait, our bad. Resting doesn't prevent injuries after all. Whoops. Then Silver puts in this new 65 game rule. Seriously, fans complained for years, but then the gamblers complained, and within a year, the resting issue is fixed. But that rule has unintended consequences. Embiid can't win if he misses just a few more games. And did you know only 3 guys have won MVP playing less than 65 games anyway? Shouldn't he be allowed to win it if his season is that good? Not anymore. Also, a guy like Tyrese Halliburton could miss all NBA, which takes $40 million out of his pocket. Hallie signed a supermax, which tops out only if he makes all NBA, but that might not happen. Imagine if he feels ready to go soon, but the team says he can't play. Maybe he would suspect they are trying to screw me and save money. It could ruin their relationship. And all of this happens because Adam Silver was way too soft on players, so he had to overcorrect with this crazy rule. Imagine if David Stern was in charge this whole time. Hell no, you are not resting your stars. Get your butt out there. Then it never gets out of control. But Adam Silver just didn't run things that way. And now it's backfired. Well, I hope Embiid is healthy for the playoffs, of course, but LeBron James might not even make it. Dude put out a cryptic tweet after another bad loss recently, and the Lakers are now about to make a huge mistake.